Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have David Hogan on the line, and he's managing director over at Elehear. David, welcome to the show.
Adam, thank you for the privilege of being able to speak with you today. I look forward
All
to it.
right, so excited about today's topic. It's not one that I often get on the show, but as I've been working with you and learning more about this, it's one that I'm happy to bring to the audience. We're going to talk about the silent epidemic, how untreated hearing loss is impacting mental health, relationships, and longevity. But before we do that, we'll start this episode the way that we start them all, with what we like to call our Mission Matters Minute. So, David, at Mission Matters, our aim and our goal is to amplify stories for entrepreneurs, for executives, for experts. That's what we do. David, what mission matters to you?
Well, today we're talking about hearing health, and what our goal has always been is bring accessible and affordable hearing care to the masses. You know, in trying to serve more efficiently the underserved in this critical piece of what matters in most people's life, and that's hearing.
Yeah. Love having you on for this because, again, I think it's something that we need to bring more attention to. And I guess just to go back in time a bit here, how did you get started in this space? Like, did you know you were going to be in the hearing business, if that's what we call it?
No, I actually probably started careers like most people with the idea of I was going to be a businessman selling something. And then
Hmm.
I ended up working for a company that bought a consumer brand. And I, by pure luck or I look at it as a privilege,
Hmm.
got involved in the audio space. So I've been in, audio products, hearing, headsets, different type of audio devices for almost 30 years now. And through
Hmm.
that progression, I've had the luxury of being introduced to all these new technologies and how they made products better for consumers, and
Yeah.
then how products became stronger in fixing people's problems, and how technology has really kind of cultivated what we do on our everyday life. But
Yeah.
the hearing piece of it resonated some time ago because there's nothing more enjoyable than seeing someone's life bettered, and as
Yeah.
simple as thinking, oh, you put a device on their ear and their life changes and you immediately see it on their face. So from that
Hmm.
perspective, it's quite an enjoyable way to
Yeah.
make a living.
And we're going to definitely get further into the hearing space, especially Ella here and what you're doing there, and also some of the societal implications that you've made me aware of that I want my audience to know too.
Yeah.
But before we do that, I mean, 30 years in that space of just audio. I mean, you've seen. Let's cover some ground there. Walkman, CD disc player, or iPod. What like all the different technology. What has it been like to be part of and working within all these industries during that
Well,
that span of
not
time?
too long ago, probably in 1998 when Bluetooth just became a thing,
Oh yeah,
and
Bluetooth. Come
and
on, more. Go ahead.
and then then people saw these wireless headphones and wireless earpieces, and
Yeah.
the immediate reaction was no one will ever wear those because they'll think you're talking to yourself. And
Mm.
we had customers at the time say, "Ew, do you really think it'll be adopted?" And then, products were launched, and then it was like a rocket ship. It's never been the
Wow.
same. And that's not only just the communication aspect of
Mhm.
it and the entertainment aspect of it, but it's how sound is processed.
Mhm.
We being able to look at so many different technologies and enjoy different parts of life and
Mhm.
communicate more freely uh, and more privately. And then that
Yeah.
just evolved into, you know, smart devices, and wearable devices, you know, and how it tracks our heart rates, our blood
Mhm.
pressure, there's so many things now that have resonated with just the thought of putting something in your ear. And
Mhm.
now it affects a wide variety of products in health related aspects of our life today.
Man, that's amazing to be a, to see it from your vantage point through those decades of seeing the evolution and seeing the consumer response. And now I think it's kind of fitting that your skills and expertise are used to help what is being treated as the silent epidemic. So the concept of Elehear and helping people with their hearing, like how do you want to tee this one up? Maybe start with, when you decided to go down this path and take the helm over at Elehear. Is that a good spot?
Yeah, the silent epidemic is, what we like to say is we've been conditioned to think that hearing loss happens when old people can't hear the television.
Yeah.
That framing is wrong, and it's costing people quality of life, actually.
Mm.
So Elia's mission has been is to offer hearing solutions backed by cutting edge technology that
Mhm.
addresses a wide variety of preferences and capabilities. So the products that we make really benefit the addressable market of their degree of hearing loss.
Mhm.
And one of the really critical pieces of this is there's so much research today that supports untreated hearing loss accelerates cognitive decline,
Mhm.
in, increased social withdrawal, strains on relationships of all levels because one can't communicate with their loved ones as well as they wanted.
Yeah.
And the thing is, people really understand that it's connected back to their hearing.
Mm.
So the real epidemic isn't about hearing loss itself. That's not new.
Yeah.
It's actually the 7 to 10 year cycle that it takes most people who identify that they might have some degree of loss to actually
Mm.
do something about it. And in that gap of those years is where the damage really happens.
Oh, wow. So,
And
like, if you were to, I want to make sure I understand what you just said. So, when somebody's first kind of feeling it's impacting their life, it can take 7 years before they go and pick up a device or something that helps them. Is that what you're saying? I want to make sure I got that.
correct, they may see a
Wow.
doctor, they may see an audiologist, they may have a
Yeah.
hearing test, and they say,
Hmm.
"Oh, you have some degree of hearing loss." And then when prior to OTC products that Elehear makes, they might
Mm.
have been introduced to a product that costs thousands and thousands of dollars.
Right.
And one, it's
So, it
the
could be
idea of
cost
addressing
prohibitive
that
in
they,
that sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Plus, on top of them having the ability to say, I really do have a problem, let me deal with it.
Mm.
So, the stigmatism around hearing has always been people don't want to be perceived as having to wear something to hear.
Mm.
But the good thing about consumer tech is people are wearing things all the time. So
Yeah.
why not take advantage of the technologies that's out there to help
Mm.
limit that self-perceived feeling that I have a problem,
Yeah.
and
I
let the
think, and
technology
correct me.
help you.
And correct me if I'm off on this. The way I kind of I've always viewed it, or as I've been getting ready for this and thinking about it, is it, and a lot of people, I look at my own life and I'm like, okay, so I wear contacts, I wear glasses, but but that's something that, like, once you start losing your vision, I remember when I was 16, maybe, and that's when I realized I needed them because I'm driving and I can't really read the signs. And it's like, hey, you got to, right? Like, you don't have a
Right.
choice. But once I put them on, it was like, holy smokes, I was looking at the world completely different. So I'm imagining some version of that if someone's hearing is kind of going away and they know and they feel it, but then maybe they don't have that ability, that thing that makes them have to do it. And every situation is different, by the way. I'm not putting it on one thing versus the
No,
other,
and a
but
lot of
once
times
they
it's
once they
social
put it on
situations.
though,
Yeah.
it must be like, wow, they're hearing a whole nother world to me. I'm trying to kind of make that connection.
Yeah, well, there is a level of you have to adjust yourself.
Yeah.
It's not like wearing a headphone that you just put it on and you enjoy music.
Yeah.
Hearing is somewhat more complicated because you have the aspect of whatever the physical problem is, then
Hmm.
you have the brain and how it processes your your the sounds around you. So
Oh.
there is a level of adjusting yourself to both the product and then the experience and how that
Mm.
processes the incoming sound. And a lot of people, their first, introduction to a problem is normally in loud social situations.
Mm.
So look at yourself. You might be in a restaurant with a group of people, and you
Yeah.
have all this background noise. You have dishes clanking. You have people talking at the tables around you,
Mm-hmm.
and when you have some loss, that's those sounds tend to blend together, and
Uh,
you know people don't want to say, pardon me, excuse me, can you repeat? So
mm-hmm.
sometimes they just sit back and they just
Smile.
smile and avoid the conversation because they really don't know what's going on
Oh,
anyway.
so they kind of like, oh, I get it, detach almost.
Detach almost. And then, in a lot of times in the early phases of their situation, it may not be that bad of an experience, but
Mm-hmm.
if their problem progresses, as it most likely will with age,
Mm.
it will get worse. And not that you want to be labeled an antisocial person, but you might be in an environment that some people say,
Yeah.
well, they never answer my question or they never
Well, in
engage in the
quality of life,
conversation.
especially with like maybe grandkids or a
Yeah,
significant other or something like that, like, they may, there's a big thing about people not
yeah.
feeling heard. So, no joke intended, but like if you're not actually
Yeah.
heard, you know what I mean? Then like it's natural for the other person to also have a feeling of like, hey, I'm not being listened to, right?
Yeah. And,
Wow.
in any
There's layers
relationship
on that, David. There's layers.
in any relationship we all have is,
Hmm.
communication is at the core of it, right? And that's
Yeah.
both being able to speak and able to hear.
Mm.
And, most of us are lucky that we don't have a problem
Hmm.
in the
Hmm.
most parts of our lives, but we've all been around someone that does.
Yeah.
And whether it's a parent, grandparent, a friend of the family, or whatever,
Mm.
a colleague you work with. So, the appreciation of those challenges are real. And,
Yeah.
you know, and you never know because we all may sit in that
Hmm.
chair right now because right today in the United States, there's 60 million people from age 12 to 80 that have some degree of hearing loss. So that's a
Wow.
big percentage. That's 1 in 5, 1 in 7 people.
Mm.
Uh, and that as you age, those percentages just get higher. And
Mhm.
then other contributing factors are like the devices I'm wearing. So
Yeah.
the audio products that we love to use have been proven to have some effect on our hearing health
Mm.
many years down the line. So
Yeah.
it's not just a medical reason. It's could be the work environment. Maybe you worked in a factory, maybe
Mhm.
you worked in a loud type of environment. You don't see many
Mhm.
musicians today live on a stage that don't wear,
Oh, yeah.
hearing protection.
Oh,
So
yeah.
because many of them suffer from some degree of loss, and
Mhm.
it's not that they don't like their own music anymore. It's just they're just trying to prolong their career with smart
Yeah.
thinking. And
Yeah.
getting your hearing checked and using hearing devices is smart health.
Mm. What, like, going back in time a bit here, what surprised you most when you started studying, hearing loss at scale? Like, and how does this affect maybe how you work at Elehear?
Well, the identity gap is really eye-opening
Mm.
because people didn't want a hearing aid. They
Mm.
wanted to hear better without announcing it to the world by wearing something. So
Interesting.
discretion in the use of technology is critical.
Mhm.
But we took an interesting approach because our company is really an AI algorithm company, not a hearing
Mm.
aid company. So
Interesting.
we built our proprietary platform, which we call
Mhm.
Voclear, which is the AI technology. Um, is the algorithm actually came first,
Mm.
and our idea was let's build the intelligence and then build the device that you can wear to enjoy that intelligence.
Yeah.
So so our philosophy is technology first, and the device itself second, because the power is in the processing, not so
Mm-hmm.
much the wearing style. The wearing style is very important because comfort, wearability. If you do suffer
Right.
from hearing loss, you want to be able to wear it all day. You want the battery to last all day. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a combination of performance and comfort, and
Mm.
that's has always been at the forefront of our thinking in any product we developed.
Mm. That's amazing. And so I think that that wouldn't, what made you go that route? Like, is that the typical, obviously I've never built a hearing company or anything in that, like, what made you go that route to go after, to build that part of
Well,
the tech first? I'm curious.
our founder and chief technical officer are sound processing engineers by trade, by
Yes.
education. So they had developed products in a company prior that
Mm.
did sound processing for a multitude of devices, PCs, mobile devices, in other businesses. So
Mm.
they've kind of honed, for lack of a better term, they honed their skill on that sound processing foundation. And
Ah.
as that got better and better and better, it was a natural progression. Almost at the same time that the
Mm-hmm.
FDA changed the rules on hearing aids in the United States. So in
Mm.
2022, when the FDA said if you had mild to moderate loss, you will be able to buy an over counter solution to help you with that problem. The goal
Mm.
being accessibility to more who maybe couldn't afford or didn't have the ability to see an audiologist or a doctor. So it
Yeah.
was more both good technology and then good timing as the industry changed
Mm.
for us to enter it and build products, that really enhance what we do. And in the
Mm.
end, results by making a better product for the consumer.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Like, you're right. Everything kind of lined up. Yeah. I get it. Let's project a little bit here. So a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of executives, a lot of dreamers, a lot of builders that watch this program. If we were to fast forward 5 years for you, David, what does success look like? And I don't mean just like for the company. I mean for overall the position of how you're helping really society to
Yeah.
understand, hearing and the health of hearing.
Well, I think the first thing to say is AI will be table stakes at a minimum.
Mm,
So
mm,
if and that's an important piece because as we just talked about, we developed that technology in ourselves with our
yeah.
R&D team in the use of our products. A lot of our competition do not do that. They
Mm,
either source a shelf solution.
right.
Um, they don't create it from start to finish. We
Mhm,
design the product, we do the software, we
mhm.
do the algorithm, we do the product design, and we build it ourselves. So we
Mm.
are
So it's
we
end-to-end
have turned.
integration on that. Yeah.
Yes. And so success from a health perspective, it goes across many conversations for us, and that's
Mhm,
hearing, that could be sleep, that could be a lot of different areas that we feel an opportunity to take what we've done with hearing and kind of
mm,
branch out those type of things. Um,
mhm,
we also want, you know, the stigmatism of this is an old person problem to be kind of widen the demographic, because there's
mm,
young people as well as older people that have hearing challenges. And to
mhm,
bring awareness to that category, and we can do that by innovative looking products. So more consumer tech looking products opposed to medical device looking products. You
mhm.
know, the 25-year-old today, they know about AirPods, they Aura
Yeah.
rings, Apple watches, and the different mechanisms how they track their either physical fitness, running, biking, hiking.
Mhm,
That medical devices could enhance your life as well as those consumer products. So we like to position
mm,
Elehear as we are a consumer tech brand. We are an AI. innovator.
Hmm.
And, we just happen to sometimes to accumulate all that stuff into a product that helps people in their everyday lives. And that's
Yeah.
hopefully what we'll continue to do over the years to come.
Yeah. It's amazing. David, this has been great. It's great having you on the show. Great learning more about what you're doing and what you're building at Elehear. I just have to ask, I mean, what's next? What's next for you? What's next for the company?
Well, I think we have several new products coming in early
Mhm.
fall this year. They will be an enhancement of what we're currently doing. With the
Mm.
whole idea is to continually bring innovation to the space. You know, we like to see, we look at ourselves as number one in the OTC hearing space, and that's by
Hmm.
market proving us to be.
Yeah.
And like any progressive company, we have to do more to stay ahead of our competition. So
Mm.
there'll be continued investment in the technology. There'll be continued investment into what makes a better product.
Yeah.
And frankly, we'll listen to our customers. We'll listen to our users. We'll listen
Mm.
to folks like you who talk to many people in technology. And how
Mhm.
can we build better products that benefits people's everyday life?
Amazing. David, if somebody's listening or watching to this and they want to follow up and they want to learn more about Elehear, how do they do that?
Easiest way is elehear.com, our website. We have a lot of information on products, our videos, user cases.
Mhm.
That's probably the best way. And, if you see something you like, you could also buy the product there. So I would recommend they visit elehear.com.
Fantastic. And for everybody watching and listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so that you can just click on the link and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. You heard me right. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way in your journey as well. So hit that subscribe or follow button. And David, man, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for coming on. And thanks for spreading a word that's going to help a lot of people. So appreciate you.
Thank you for letting me have the opportunity and to be part of your audience today. Thank you.